Shalom, this is GMS Holland Sit Downs coming back with a lesson. Want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakadosh. Double honors to the elder apostle of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect out there spreading this word of sincerity and the truth. God, this is gonna be a testimonial video, wherein something happened in the space of like 1.5 years, maybe 2 years even, within this truth that is a beautiful thing to see, man. And Yaharatazah, also a message to the watchmen that if they have the ability to speak in a certain tongue, that they do it, man, because it's very important. It's very important for the elect's sake. So without further ado, I'm gonna read the scripture and then I'm gonna give the testimony. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 39. Wherefore, brethren, covet to prophesy, and forbid not to speak with tongues. Let all things be done decently and in order. So forbid not to speak in tongues, man. And now speaking in tongues is not what these Christians do, man. Just blabbering something that doesn't make no sense for nobody, because the scripture says, if you would, roughly paraphrasing, if you speak in tongues, let somebody translate it. So there needs to be someone that is able to translate what you are speaking about if you are prophesying in tongues. Which if we are standing in the camp, and let's say someone from Venezuela comes, we have a brother that speaks Spanish, and two brothers that read Spanish. Then after this man has been edified with the truth, we relapse on what was being taught in the Spanish language, or whatever language we went into, and we will relapse on it and speak what we spoke about in the Spanish language. So that's very important that is being translated. But if you are in a country where they speak that language, meanwhile the rest of the brothers prophesy in English, then you're just teaching that language, man. So there's a very spiritual thing, which I also told the brother in GMS Germany, his name is Tazawa, that is very heavy, that he just teaches in German, man, in the German language, because we in Holland, we really don't have that spirit heavy upon us to teach in the Dutch language. Some brothers do, and there are some videos in the Dutch language, but us knowing the Dutch people, they all know English. They all know English. But in Germany, it's not like that. These Germans, they don't know English. A lot of Germans don't know English, or they speak English very poorly. So it's the spirit, man. And Salakia, got distracted, got a phone call. Yeah, so basically the thing that happened was this. Wait, let me read this thing first. This is the Greek word glossa, which means the tongue. A member of the body, which the tongue is a member of a body. An organ of speech, a tongue. This is what it means, man. The language or dialect distinct from that of other nations. So just another tongue, man, just another language. And it's spiritual, because in the Surinamese language, they refer to their own language as Sranang Tongo, which means Surinamese tongue, but they are referring to the language. So in the scriptures, it's the same thing. When it speaks about different tongues, speaking in tongues, it means speaking in different languages, So this is basically the testimony of what happened. 2 years ago, I started to make videos in the French language. You know, back in the days, I learned some French in school, which wasn't really, I wasn't really deep in it. You know, I was more busy with Spanish and some other languages. But French, you know, it kind of stuck in my mind. You know, and I was just like, hey, the Spirit moved me to make a video in the French language. Now I have like 3 or 4 videos in French. And later on, I saw also that the brother in GMS Mexico also started to make videos in French. So that was beautiful. Now, while I was busy with pushing the word in the French language, I told the brother that's within our camp, you know, that moved from Switzerland to Holland to join our camp. I told him that he should make a video in the German language. And you know, back then he told me like he's not that good in the German language. I said like, yeah, you know, if the Spirit moves you, just try your best to do it. Now, eventually, that didn't happen. You know, which can happen, but what happened then was the brother from the main camp in America, he did a video in the German language. And back then I told him like, hey, the Spirit still brought it out, you know, even though the Spirit didn't move you to make a video in the German language, it still came out. You know, so basically, regardless, man, whether it goes to this brother or that brother, it doesn't matter. It still came out because it had to come out, you know. So fast forward 1.5 or 2 years later, GMS Germany has popped up, and we just visited GMS Germany like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and we built with the brothers. It was beautiful, you know. It was very spiritual, and you know, we just build it upon each other and break bread, man. Teached in the highways and byways two times in that 1 week that we was there, and it was very heavy, man. And of course we ate some food, and while we was in this restaurant, the brother told me that the first video he saw was the video of the brother from America, man. The video that he did in the German language. That was the first video that he saw coming in this truth, man. So basically the video that woke him up. So, man, Spirit is heavy, man. Spirit is heavy. This is why the scripture says, forbid not to speak in tongues, man. Because there are some brothers that will wake up by hearing their own language. I can testify also by that concerning the people on the Antillean Islands. When they hear English, when they hear Dutch, it doesn't really move them. But as soon as they hear their own language, which is the Papiamento language, they are in a whole different vibration, man. It's like their understanding is more opened. They are more passionate towards it. So that's also a trigger that can be opened by speaking in other tongues, man, and in the native tongue of these people, or of the land where you grew up in, you know. So this brother, basically his eyes were opened by watching that video in the German language that the brother from America did. So now, you know, I went to the brother and I told the brother like, hey, this is what it is, man. You know, Spirit moved me to tell you, make a video in the German language. Eventually it didn't happen. Spirit just brought it out, still brought it out. And guess what? There's GMS Germany now. And that's beautiful to see, man. That's beautiful to see. The Most High finds a way regardlessly, you know. Whoever brings it out. And that shows you, man, as a body, the edification and the truth will come out, man. And brothers are being moved through the Spirit to bring these certain things out, man, according to the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's why the scripture also says 1 Timothy chapter 4. Verse 14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee. So basically, you have to, all the gifts that you have within you, you have to bring them out, man. That's why I said in the beginning, like, hey, if you have the ability to speak in a different language, man, try to make a video on it, man, or within in that language. If you have the ability, you know, to communicate in another language, you know, do some research, open up your skills within that language, and try to make a video, man. Like I said, for me, my skills within the French language was minimum, man. Minimum. Really minimum, man. But Yaharat Azah, man, I made a video concerning the chip, the destruction, who the Israelites are. And who knows, man? Yaharat Azah, which means Most High willing, some brothers in West Africa that speak French will wake up, or in the Caribbean islands, or in France itself. You know? You never know, man. The Most High can put the spirit upon them, man, to click on the French video and come into this truth. You know? So brothers that are able to speak in different tongues, I suggest you try your best to make a video on it, man, because this can happen. And you know what the scriptures say about, you know, fruits, man, having fruits. Blessed is the man, man. Blessed is that man. If you wake up people in this truth, to come to this truth, that's a blessing, man. That's a heavy blessing. And not just people that come to this truth. If you wake up people that start teaching, so basically teachers of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, if you wake them up, hey, that's a heavy blessing, man. You know, so neglect not the gift that is in you, that is in thee. Let me read it again. 1 Timothy 4 and 14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. You see? So by the laying on of the hand of the presbytery, if you look up the word presbytery, it says elders. You know, so through the elders we have the edification, and we have the spirit through Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to push this word out, man. You know, and if the spirit comes on you, don't neglect it, don't cast it off, don't refuse to teach. You know, if you have that gift to speak in a different language, do so, because you might just wake up members of the elect, man, and that's a heavy blessing that you would put upon yourself. You know, so it's important that we, you know, push that vibration out there to do whatever we can to push this truth, man, in whatever language possible. So Salakia for the way I was speaking in this lesson. Don't know what's going on, but very busy, you know, moving up and down, very stressful morning, you know. But Yaharat Azah, man, it was kind of clear. This video was kind of understandable for people to listen to, and I hope I brought my point across. You know, maybe I'll do a part 2 on this lesson, you know, if the spirit moves me. So Salakia for the way of speaking. You know, very busy in my head today. I'm working also. You know, Yaharat Azah, it was edifying, man. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom, and up to another lesson, man. Shalom.